Welcome, one and all, to the Orium, Scotland's Sport Performance Centre, which today plays host to the NorDan British Handball Super Cup. That's right, it's the pinnacle of handball in Britain, and it's, well, about to get underway as well. We've got Edinburgh versus West London Eagles, just lining up doing the customary high fives. All that good jazz. I'll give you a very quick rundown of what we're expecting to see here for the rest of the day and the weekend, of course. Two teams from Scotland in the women's, two teams from Scotland in the men's, two teams from England in the women's, two teams from England in the men's as well. Come head-to-head to the champions of each country. Go head-to-head to see who is the first champion. Today, as you can see, West London Eagles, the cup finalists in England, and we've got Olympia representing the English as well. They're obviously English champions currently. Edinburgh currently about to go against West London Eagles. Scottish League and Cup champions are going for the treble, and then Newcastle. We'll get on to how they're representing Scotland in a little bit. And in the men's, we've got Olympia, we've got North East Manchester Hawks, we've got Livingston, and we've got EK82 as well. But again, we'll get on to the men's a little bit later. We've got two games coming up. We've got the at 10 o'clock, a couple of minutes time, we're throwing off, but then one that's on your screen. At 12 o'clock, we've got Olympia versus Newcastle Vikings. Then we go on to the men's, Livingston versus Olympia at 2. And then North East Manchester Hawks versus EK82 at 4 o'clock. So a full day of handball ready to get underway here at the Orium up in Edinburgh. You can see the crowd. There is the Olympia team, coach, and they'll be watching this with a bit of nerves, I'm sure. Tomorrow there's 4 more games. We have the runners-up games, third place games effectively, women's at 10 AM. At 12 o'clock as well, we've got the men's, and then we've got the overall finals, the women's at 2 o'clock, and then the men's at 4 tomorrow. So today, consider them the semi-finals. Tomorrow we go into the big ones, and of course they are fighting for a place, potential place in Europe as well this weekend. The top 3, so only 4th place in this competition doesn't get a European spot or a potential European spot. Obviously that is whether or not the clubs want to take it, as well as a lot of cost and everything else involved. But we're about to get hyped up for Edinburgh versus West London Eagles. On the Edinburgh team, we've got the number 5, Dina Gray, the number 9, Amanda Clemens-Cars, number 10, Louise Cox-Thompson, number 11, Elisa Moreno, number 13, Hannah Keenan, number 14, Nuria Valesios, number 15, Maria Rochon. We don't have Sarah Hout or Stephanie Bauer with us this morning, unfortunately, but we have number 20, Maria Diaz. Then we have Anisha Verglas in number 22, Alicia Ann Vipasek in number 25, number 32 is Elizabeth Nusa, number 96, Bianca Mata, and number 98, Stephanie Besler. Coach is Mads Auen on the bench. For the West London Eagles team, we have number 1, Annette Utby, number 2, Brindel Dougal, number 3, Wing Hang Hoi, number 4, Maddie Edwards, number 5, Emma Jane Tommen, number 6, Christina Littman, number 7, Maria Seri, number 8, Victoria Povashinska, number 10, Anna Meyer, number 11, Naomi Bell, number 13, Katarzyna Vitauska, number 16, Erica Hodosi, number 19, Katerina Brasilin Bento, my apologies, and number 20, Hoi Kyun Loin, and number 24, Anna Thornhill. And then on the bench, of course, the coach of West London Eagles is Paul Dempsey. So with all that sort of rigmarole out of the way, then we're very excited to see these two coming up against each other. Edinburgh, of course, champions of Scotland. And, their league table suggests they were the dominant force as well. See how they line up against West London Eagles, who myself I've been lucky enough to watch quite a few times this season, and they're very, very effective indeed. And they brought a big squad up here today as well. Little introduction to myself. My name is Jack Oliphant. I think we're working with QTV today on the production side, and well, we're just to our left-hand side in a little cupboard, so we're watching this on the live stream just as you guys are as well. A big thank you to NorDan for sponsoring the British Super Cup. very exciting to be here. And of course, unfortunately, we're not on BBC Sport this year. If you were watching last year and you're wondering whether we're going to be on BBC tomorrow, we're not, but we're going to be on live on Scottish Handball, YouTube and the Facebook stream as well. So if anybody out there is wondering where to send grandparents, parents, friends and family, then over to the Scottish Handball YouTube and Facebook is where you need to send them. So Edinburgh get us underway, shooting from right to left in the white and sort of pale blue. West London Eagles in the blue and white. It's a little bit confusing, but the kits are basically opposite. Ball gets moved out to the right wing, a little bit of pressure. And a good shot there by the number 10 for Edinburgh. Louise Cock-Thompson, captain, I believe, of the Edinburgh handball team. And a good start from them as well. Powerful backcourt shot from the right half. As West London Eagles, in no real rush to get it going. Everybody takes a touch of the ball, tries to get acclimatise and bed themselves into this game. Of course, nerves running relatively high. A lot of these guys actually ended up travelling up last night. Some of them even in the early hours of this morning. As the ball gets worked out to the right wing and the lob shot is attempted, but missed. Beglars in goal, not having to work particularly hard for that one. There we go, score confirmed up on the top end of your screen. The number 14, Nuria Velasios, is currently operating in the centre. A little bit of pressure put on her there by the number 8, Victoria. Getting a bit scrappy. Edinburgh have to reset and go again here. They take the foul there. It's a good opportunity to do so, actually. It's looking a little bit scrappy as they move the ball all the way to the left wing straight away. They actually make contact with the Oriam Sports Centre. That's not ideal as West London Eagles now come up the court, try and transition a little bit quicker. Good pass, there's no left winger, so they try and move the ball, but again, it sort of breaks down a little bit. It's sort of scrappy at the beginning of this game. Try and generate some ball speed now, trying to drive in some players. In fact, really aggressive defence there by the number 96, Bianca Mata, on the right wing defence. Number 20 for West London Eagles, Lung, starting to make sure she communicates what they want, and there we go. That's my favourite move of the West London Eagles. They fake the second line and they put it on the right side, go in on the right half or the left half, up slipping through the gap. And that was Lung actually taking that goal as well. Strong foul there by West London Eagles, who, as I said, fought for a lot this season. In England, in the women's game, it's an all-London affair between themselves and Olympia in the finals for the National Cup. As the ball gets intercepted, it's gone at the other end, and it's not caught and not converted by the number 8, Victoria Powaszynska. Quite often through this season, whenever I've been commentating on West London Eagles, I have just said Victoria instead of trying to butcher the name Powaszynska in commentary. So I do, if you hear me say Victoria, that's the player I'm on about. So 1-1 with 3.5 minutes in. Edinburgh haven't really found their groove yet. Again, it looks a bit all over the place. It looks a bit scrappy. A lot of players standing all over each other. In fact, there were 3 players there, all within about 5 metres of each other on the right half position. They try and take the big shot for the right back. Although there's a bit of contact in the air, it doesn't actually come to anything. The referees let it go. Michael Mateus here from Sweden. The 2 referees, as there's a foul, and it looked like a potential. No, just a bit of a telling off. I thought maybe a yellow card was coming there, but the number 3 for West London Eagles, Wing Hang Hoi. A little replay of it. Her English name, as she says it, is Jill, actually, so we might end up just slipping back into there. But of course, we're going to try and keep pronunciations going as best as possible. As West London Eagles, again, getting a little bit disrupted with some aggressive defence there by Edinburgh. Moving out to the right wing. Just so scrappy this game already. There's no real flow, there's no momentum. West London Eagles had to travel a long way, but Edinburgh certainly don't have that problem. Victoria actually potentially blaming the attack there. I thought there was a little bit of Well, maybe that is the reason. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe that is the reason why we've had some fumbling, especially on that fast break. Now, like defending in the area. That's all I'm going to say. It would have been a bit of a harsh penalty. Maria Diaz, the defender there. The ball starts to get moved around. The wing players sort of falling over each other actually, and ended up tackling one another, throwing the ball away as well. West London Eagles, I said about Edinburgh not being in the group, West London Eagles certainly haven't come out here and started punishing them. The whole game needs to almost have a bit of a hard reset. Edinburgh slowing it all the way down now though. Get the impression that they've tried this a couple of times. And if anything, oh, that's a nice line play there. That's a really nice goal there. Number 96, in fact, no, sorry, the number 98, my apologies, Stephanie Fesler. For Edinburgh coming away with that goal. Foul, I think, was given it, potentially in the area. I was looking down at my notes there instead of looking at the live stream. Yeah, really nice little bit of work with the line play. Defender caught in no man's land a little bit. Not really close enough to make a tackle to the half-back, not really far enough back to block the pass either. I think Paul Dempsey would probably see that and maybe feed that back onto court after a timeout or maybe even during the game as well. I don't want that to happen too often. Big amount of space for the number 10, Louise Cox-Thompson. Straight at the goalkeeper, Annette Utby. Again, the half-player trying to turn, defending in the area by the looks of it, so penalty for Edinburgh to take a 3-1 lead. The first time we'll have actually seen a 2-goal lead at all in this game. Only 6.5 minutes gone. So who is stepping up to take it? It is the number 20, Maria Diaz. Takes it and bounces it into the roof of the net. Nice goal there by Maria Diaz. West London Eagles, every time they come up they try and call a move, and I sort of appreciate that, but at the moment it's very slow, very sloppy. Trying a bit of a trigger movement, and again a big shot from the left back position, doesn't come anywhere near the goal really. Hits the net, but it's the wrong net. It's the net that stops the ball from cascading against the back of the hall. This, by the way, the floor, not normally here at the Europe Sports Centre, the floor, the goals, the nets, they've all been put up by the hard-working volunteers and employees of Scottish Handball, and I have to say they've done a fantastic job. I think they were allowed into the hall yesterday at about 5 p.m. Oh, that's a fast restart, even caught me out. And there's a penalty here for someone trying to knock the ball out of the hands of the number 14, Valacios. And it is Diaz, Maria Diaz, to step up once more. She tried a very similar shot, bouncing into the roof and through the centre of the court, but this time it was saved by the West London Eagles goalkeeper. I said it was Annette Utby before, but I don't think it was actually in the goal. My apologies. Can't quite see the number, but I don't think it was a number 1. Ball moved out to the right wing, loads of space. Instead, West London Eagles opportunity. Yes, it is 3-2. They get one back, and that's number 2. McDougall. McDougall, formerly of the Canadian national team, from right wing and right back. So McDougall, strong source of attack there, I'm guessing, from the right wing. They'll be wanting to expose that more and more. And of course, Edinburgh and West London Eagles, they really don't know that much about their opponents. Unlike, I'm guessing, that whenever they come up against their counterparts in their own regions, obviously they'll know, say, West London Eagles will know Olympia like the back of their hands. Edinburgh might know Newcastle very well, but they won't know each other. So it's all about figuring out where they're strong, watching some footage back if there is any footage available as McDougall makes it at number 2 for herself. And West London Eagles starting to get a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of speed in the ball. It's 3-3 now, 9 minutes in. And the game just eking up with a touch of quality each and every time there's a goal, I would say. West London Eagles starting to move the ball a little better. Edinburgh keeping it a little bit narrow at the moment. Operating quite far away from the goal, but that's thanks to the aggression of West London Eagles. They try and go for the shot on the right wing to Edinburgh. They didn't get it away though. Bianca Mata. As I say, there's some very early aggressive defence as West London Eagles try and come up, start to transition whilst also using trigger movements. They go for the shot on the left wing, not much of a gap there, pretty easy save. travel, but there was a bit of a foul. Play on, says the referee. Of course, there's not much of a technical advantage rule in handball, but sort of common sense. Is a nice spin, but it's going to be travel. There was a foul in there as well, according to the referees. So Bianca Masso operating on that right wing. Left-handed, it appears, so she is a good source of attack there, but again, a great save, and it comes straight back out, and there's a penalty being given. Edinburgh first to the rebound there, though. Most of the Eagles want to be reacting a little bit quicker to that, to be fair. I mean, there was hardly any time, probably being a bit harsh to them. As Louise Cox-Thompson steps up, smashes it into the bottom corner. Taking over from Matter taking number 4. West London Eagles get us back going. 4-3 game. As I said, the game's not been brilliantly high quality, but it's starting to get a little bit closer. Remember, this is the semi-finals. The finals are all tomorrow, so this is really fighting for a place in the final. Hoping for that 2 o'clock go off. Obviously, that is the final for the women's. The ball gets launched over. Plays one transition, but it's intercepted there by the number 20, and West London Eagles. No, they don't really take advantage. It's a bit of a tame shot at the end. There was a potential overload if they moved it all the way to the right-hand side with a bit of speed, but didn't get it away. That was Hoy. As I said, a bit of a tame shot over about 3 or 4 defenders, not where the space was. It was initially a fantastic interception, really, by Lung. And again, Edinburgh looked for that line. Trying to move the ball. Big shot, defended, blocked. Didn't even make it to the goalkeeper there. Stephanie Fessler's shot. As again, they start to they move the right winger into as a second line. Thompson trying to look for the space through the defender. Again, almost narrowing the court there by moving that second line in. Not really exposing the backcourt. If you're going to do that, you really want to be shooting from the back at about 9 meters. Well, that's a great bit of movement there. Pretty sure I'm pronouncing that 15 different ways, the 15 times I've said it, but a great goal from her nonetheless, number 14. So West London Eagles have to yet again come from a 2-goal deficit. Start to move the ball. They're trying that sort of, again, fake second line move. Wet again, didn't come off. They keep recycling it. They move to the left wing. And a good save by the Edinburgh goalkeeper. I haven't seen the number 2 recently, but I seem to remember the first opening shot by West London Eagles. I said it was Veglars in goal, the number 22 for Edinburgh. Again, it's just a touch slow, I would say, from the backcourt players of Edinburgh as they turn the ball over. West London Eagles go on the fast break, great catch, and a great save, and it is the number 22, Deborah Dew. It's Veglars in goal, and even though it looked like a guaranteed breakaway by Lung, and a great goalkeeper in that. You really do have to be smart with where you put the ball, and Veglars, well, came out on top of that particular battle. Keep it a 2-goal deficit, 13.5 minutes in. Little movement from the line here, trying to get the backcourt players with a bit of speed, but again, the ball just gets stumped. The aggression with the West London Eagles just absolutely killing the Edinburgh attack. They get the ball back though, and it's, is that going to be a charging foul? Yes, it is. I would say good defending there by Pavashinska. Getting themselves in the way, not in the area as well. Could have been very close to a penalty. If you're new to handball, very quickly a little brief of what you're seeing. We're about halfway through the first half. There's 2 30-minute halves. 60-minute game, obviously. Normally you're used to seeing about a goal a minute. Probably what it roughly comes out to, around 30 all, is sort of how rough scores come out. Oh, good save there yet again. Number 22, Veglars. 7 players on a court at any one time, but of course you have a full bench as well. So I think 16 in total you can have on the team sheet. 7 on the bench. 7 on court. Normally 1 goalkeeper, 6 out-court players. Lining up left wing, right wing, centre, and then 2 back courts. You might hear me say left back, right back. That's not the same as football. They're not defenders necessarily. Everybody defends, everybody attacks for the majority. Left half is halfway between the left winger and the centre. Right half is the same, but on the other side. And of course there is a line or a pivot as well, and their job is to basically be a right nuisance in the sort of defensive line of the opposition. I'll point them out in a second. Number 4 for West London Eagles, Maddie Edwards, is trying to work their way through from the left back through into the centre of the court. There is the West London Eagles pivot player, also known as a line player. You can see them sort of standing, being a nuisance right next to the defence of Edinburgh, just trying to move them about, block them, and then also be a brilliant pass if they can find them. Here goes West London Eagles, good defence by the Edinburgh teammates. And number 10, I think that was Louise Cox-Thompson, the right back, who scored a fair few goals already, and the captain. Just seeing that West London Eagles have a couple of moves up in their repertoire, but none of them at the moment are beating Beglars, who's having an absolutely sensational 5 minutes to a name, and keeping Edinburgh in this game to effect. So as Edinburgh come back, you can see that I've been saying the aggressive defence from West London Eagles. It just basically means how high they're pressing up on the Edinburgh attackers. As West London Eagles try and move it up the court, there's probably one pass that they didn't need to make. And it breaks down. Number 11, I said it was a pivot player before, line player. That's Naomi Bell, GB senior representation to her name as well. She's got a cap for that, a couple of caps I believe. Her job, as I said, is to really disrupt, but then also be an option, because if she gets the ball, it's pretty much a guaranteed shot, and it's pretty much a guaranteed goal, it seems, whenever number 2, Brendel McDougall, gets on the right wing. Finally have something to shout about from the West London Eagles perspective, because at the moment it's been a lot of Beglars praise and not a lot of clinical finishing for the West Londons, but looks like they've finally got one back. Could that be a sign of better things to come? It was, of course, McDougall last time when they started to get a little bit of momentum. It was 2 quick fire goals from her that meant they got back into the game, as that's, well, not the best shot in the world, but it is a goal, that's for sure, for Edinburgh from the left back position. Almost took the goalkeeper by surprise, I feel. They're trying to move it to Edwards. Seems to be a very strong bit of defence over there. I'm not sure if Edinburgh have spotted that from footage that they found earlier in the season, but they need to know that they need to stop Edwards from getting through. Oh, great, that pass to the line, no, and that's the number 11 who was left all alone. Naomi Bell, mentioned her before, and I said, if you have a line player or a pivot, their job is not only to be a bit of a nuisance, it's to be an option as well, because you get the ball to them, they normally either one, don't have many defenders who can tackle them, because in handball, if you are anywhere but between the ball and the goal, it is a penalty. And potentially in 2 minutes, and quite a lot of the time the pivot will be stood pretty much on the 6-metre line, no one can get between the ball and the goal, which means they have a clear shot as the ball cannons off the crossbar by the centre player from West London Eagles, and which is of course Lung. This time calming things down, trying to call the play. If you see them holding up their hand with, say, number 3 on it or anything like that, that means a certain trigger movement. They try and move the players, move the ball and move the defence ultimately to create a gap for one of their strongest shooters. So Victoria moves the ball out to the right wing. McDougall couldn't get her hands on it. Bit forced, that one. Didn't go with the play. And although McDougall, with 3 goals to her name, will certainly be hoping for a little bit better service than that. Hannah Keenan in the centre for Edinburgh now. Again, I can't, because we're in a little cupboard to the left, just behind the, just out of sight, out of mind, here in the commentary box. I can't quite see whether, or I can't quite hear whether Keenan's communicating any kind of moves or anything like that, but again, it just looks a touch disorganised by Edinburgh compared to West London Eagles. Again, good movement from the second line this time. The right wing coming all the way through. Everyone's shot by the oncoming left back. And the number 96, Bianca Mata, gets her goal. I said that, you know, if you put a second line in, it really does sort of congest the middle of the court. Sometimes it's not my favourite tactic. Sort of, again, brings the width. Takes about 2 or 30 metres out of the attack. But if you time it right, time to run right, you get the pass off, you really catch defenders out, and you get a free shot. Here is Mata. And charge the ball up. Keenan for the backcourt, blocked by the West London Eagles player. Again, they've gone for those 2 lines. They've kept the width this time. The 13, Hannah Keenan, instead of going, well, she was in centre, she moved into that second line, she's come back out to centre now. They're trying to give Eagles something to think about. Anybody who was involved in handball over the years, maybe coming back and watching this for the first time, West London Eagles, maybe a slightly new look team. It was Ricelet once upon a time. Certainly when I played against them. It was the legs. That assist to Naomi Bell. It may well have been, at least it was around the defender. It got a little bit blurry on the screen, I couldn't quite see. West London Eagles with a really tasty pass to the line, and Naomi Bell scoring some crucial goals as well as McDougall. And again, Mata going into that second line position. Problem for Louise Cox-Thompson is the fact that whenever they do that, as I said, it narrows the defence really. As they try and pass to the line, almost gets there to be fair. There's a long pass, bounce pass as well, a bit slow as you would expect the Eagles players to defend it. Mata going for that shot. Didn't quite get the shot away, otherwise may well have been a penalty, but didn't quite get around the defenders in time. Very narrow angle, would have been difficult to score. Keenan passive play gets called. 4 passes there allowed. I think they've had 1 with passive play in action, which means that's 2. They try and go for the shot straight away, but tackled. Was that a bit of a bang to the head? No, I think just the ponytail became a bit loose. No, it did look like a bit of a bang to the head, but she's straight up and getting on with it. 2 passes by my calculations left before they either turn the ball over or go for the shot. They fake it, Thompson loses the ball anyway. There's lots of space here for the right wing. West London Eagles try and break, try to step. McDougall doesn't get the shot cleanly away, so a defender in front of him and a teammate to the left-hand side as well. As she watches that back, maybe thinking, should have used that one, but to be fair, with 3 goals to her name, who can blame her for going through? The timeout is called. Edinburgh calling that timeout then. So give you a bit of a brief of what exactly handball is. There you can see Matt Doyle, the Edinburgh coach, giving a bit of a brief to their players. But yeah, 7v7, 1 goalkeeper, 6 out-court players, 60-minute game. Effectively, if you ever watched water polo, which I appreciate probably about as niche as handball is, you may have seen that on TV during the Olympics or something like that. Handball is effectively water polo without water. It's a brilliant sport, lots of contact as well. Unlike water polo, it's obviously not water. But lots of very physical contact and fantastic camaraderie as well. To be honest, it's perfect sport in my opinion. There's lots of respect towards the referees for the most part. We're trained and brought up that if you shout to do anything to the referee, you can get a 2-minute sin bin. There's obviously lots of other reasons how you can get a 2-minute sin bin, which sort of works in a similar way to ice hockey where they get a 10-minute sin bin. But in ice hockey, you pretty much have to commit assault to get a 10-minute sin bin. Here, it's obviously a little bit more strict about that sort of thing. So tackling is hard, the contact is hard, but it's clean as well. It's done in a safe manner. If it's not, then you do get a 2-minute suspension or sent off even. Obviously, we don't want to see anything like that happening. As Thompson bounces the ball and into the top left corner. Always a difficult shot that for goalkeepers. It's not one for the cameras, that kind of shot, but it certainly does get the job done, and it means that Edinburgh now lead 7-6. I don't think West London Eagles have actually led in this game. They've come level once or twice, but yet to lead. again, they start trying to create some kind of speed, some kind of momentum, and that move that we got shown at the beginning of the half. Again, even though I know what's coming, I still forget to look for the line play. Great pass, great goal! That's the real quality we've seen in transition, and it's by Matter with the one-handed pass, one-handed catch, and a great goal, great conversion straight into the top corner. Edinburgh lead now by 3, actually. And after that, well, West London Eagles will be feeling a little bit bruised and battered, I feel. They haven't really gotten to the rhythm of it. Again, the speed hasn't quite been there. I haven't seen anything that's anywhere near the quality that we used to see from West London Eagles, even last week, as they try and force the ball to the line. Whatever Edinburgh said in their timeout has clearly worked a treat. A bit of contact between the 13 and the 14. That's the 13, Matauska from West London Eagles. 14 of Velicios from Edinburgh, but back up, shaking hands, help each other up, and away we go. Back into the thick of action, lots of space here, but it's fumbled by the number 32. Victoria looks to break up the court. It's a 3-on-2 situation, back to Victoria, that's the right pass, but that's not the right finish, off the crossbar, and it's just not falling West London Eagles' way. It's either an inspired Veglars, or just straight up missed shooting or wrong shot choices for West London Eagles. Paul Dempsey won't be very happy about this, jumping all the way up to Edinburgh from London to hit the crossbar a fair couple of times. And I'm sure the players will be demanding better of themselves, as well as Matter tries to break through. She's definitely coming into this game. The last sort of 10-15 minutes, her influence has grown and grown and grown. As I said before, they're using a lot of sort of second line movements with Matter, not so much for the left wing going in, but certainly for the right wing going in, and catching them off guard. But when she actually gets a shot from fast breaks or from the right wing, she certainly looks a threat as well. Here's the 32, Elizabeth Musa, who hasn't looked that assured when she's actually got the ball from left back. They try and move up. Is this the opportunity? They go for the lob, but there is Veglars in the goal yet again. And look at that, she's running up, almost joining the attack with Edinburgh, trying to G her players up as they throw it away once again. How many opportunities are they going to give West London Eagles? How many opportunities are West London Eagles going to throw away? 9-6 to score, 25.5 minutes. Amazing, we've only got 4.5 minutes until the half-time whistle, which for the Eagles, I'm sure will be can't come soon enough. Maddie Edwards running into the defence there. Lung trying to generate some kind of control in this. And again, it's not like they haven't had the opportunities, the Eagles. They probably could be 10-9 up at this rate in the last 5 minutes, but they just haven't scored them. And again, the shot down the centre from 9 metres. I know it was trying to bounce in, but it wasn't really the high-quality shot that we were coming to expect from them. We've seen the Eagles play an awful lot better as Edinburgh, number 10, runs into the area. Louise Cox-Thompson moving out to the left wing, it would appear, trying to go into the second line. And stepping in the area as they do so. Now there could be an overload here. Here goes McDougall. Surely it's not McDougall anymore, actually. My apologies. It's the number 13 for the West London Eagles, which is Matauska. Slightly strange that they've changed that one around. Putting a right-hander onto the right wing. Always difficult from that, and you just saw why. It's because the angle is so hard. You have to twist your body so well. Not the easiest in the world. You definitely want, if you've got a left-hander, you definitely want them on the right wing, as Anna Mayer trying to force her way through the left wing, which we haven't actually seen that much action from the left wing from either of these two teams. Again, I think that's Matter's aggressive defence, actually, as Edinburgh turn the ball over, almost get the ball away. In fact, they still do try the fast break, but it's dropped. Not stepped in the area. Yes, she was stepped in the area. Oh, no, it's Chadden, actually, my apologies. And it's the number 13 who, unfortunately, Hannah Keenan couldn't quite get the ball under their spell. Hannah Keenan, who represents Scotland and GB for under 18. Matauska goes for a lob. There doesn't seem to be any getting past Veglars here today, who does look like just maybe slightly injured herself with stretching for that ball. Be amazing. I'm trying to keep a tally of all the individual goals. I wish that I'd started keeping a tally of how many saves they lost today, because somebody out there, I'm sure, during half-time will watch this back potentially and try and count them up. I might even do it after the game in preparation for tomorrow. She's been pretty inspired so far. All the shots have been terrible for the Eagles. So you can't take anything away. They get the ball out to Naomi Bell, who, yet again, can't convert. It just seems to be a magnet that just seems to be forcing the ball away from the goal of Edinburgh at the moment. And it doesn't matter what the Eagles do, cannot seem to actually get any kind of clinical nature about them. They're not playing badly. They're getting the ball back in defence really well. They're defending fantastically. I mean, Edinburgh haven't scored either, so you know you have to say that Westland Eagles have been defending very well. They've been playing well in one half of the court. It seems to be the finishing is just so not lackluster. I think that's a bit harsh. And Beglar's as keen as Edwards tries to charge their way through. In fact, it's not Edwards, is it? It's number 5, sorry, Emma Jane Tommen. There's been a sub there. So number 4's come off for number 5. In fact, no, number 4's come over to the right back position now, haven't they? So a real change. Lung trying to charge it up. Move out to the left wing. I said we haven't seen much left wing action, and there could be a 2-minute suspension. There's definitely a penalty. Anna Meyer on that left wing. And that is Bianca Mata, who's currently on the floor. And I said that they've had a growing influence on the game, come up with some crucial goals and some brilliant movement as well. The referees, Matthias and Michael. Matthias, I think, on the right of your screen, Michael on the left. Didn't catch that last name, actually. Matthias Falt and Michael Holm. As I said, both from Sweden, potentially discussing if there was any kind of movement from the legs outside of the body. Here's a replay. Ooh. No, I think that looks a little bit suspect to me from the defence. I think the rules dictate nowadays that if the stance of the feet are outside the shoulder width, then from the defence, so basically making the body bigger, then there's a potential for suspension, 2-minute suspension. But obviously the referee's thinking that's not necessarily this time out. So Westland Eagles, I think, get their first penalty of the game. Victoria Povashinska normally doesn't miss them. This time, does the ball get back out to it? Yes, it does. I think it was a great save to start with, and I think it was a second save. Even when gifted 2 golden opportunities, Edinburgh do not concede, although they throw the ball away once more. And again, Westland Eagles throw the ball away themselves. This is, well, not what I was expecting. 2 teams operating at a very, very high standard. And at half-time, I believe the score is still 9-6. I think it has been the last 10 minutes or so. And look at the congratulations for the number 22. I mean, Beglard has been player of the match so far. I know I've gone on about the lack of clinical nature of Eagles, but we see what it means to the team, and I think if they have an option, she'd be player of the match right now. So Edinburgh 9, Westland Eagles Handball 6. It's not been a vintage first half in terms of overall quality, but we've got some replays for you now before we let you go and get a cup of tea. A good move there at the beginning. Westland Eagles, to be fair, they have played some good handball. Edinburgh, well, not played the best that they were hoping for. They have scored plenty of penalties, created good options themselves. There is McDougall. Well, a few players actually asked to get past Beglars. Good goal, though, to be fair. Stepping up here is Thompson for Edinburgh. Straight into the bottom left. Nicely done. And again, some good line movement. The communication and the work with the line, the backcourt players, has been very impressive from Edinburgh. Nice tight angle there for McDougall to score the right one as well. Surprise shot, number 16 is a goal for Eagles. That's Erica Hadosi. And there's her perspective on the goal on the other end as well. After a couple of these replays, we're going to give you a little bit of a break from my voice. Some adverts to show you. There is Matt's second line movement. I said she was thrown in for that period of the game there. She certainly was brilliant. And that was through the legs, actually. What a pass by Lung into Naomi Bell. Great reaction from her as well, just to get the ball. 25, Anna Vippersen. And there is, to be honest, my favourite And we are back in the room. It's the West London Eagles versus Edinburgh. Edinburgh currently leading the way by 9-6. And if you're just tuning in, I wouldn't say you missed a vintage half of handball, but you have missed a very interesting half of handball. I think both coaches will be certainly demanding more from their players. And as West London Eagles gets back underway, shooting from right to left in their blue and white kit, we have Edinburgh shooting left to right in their white and blue kit. Yes, it sounds a bit of a tongue twister when you say it like that, but you'll get the gist of it in a couple of minutes' time. As a good save there at that time by Beglars, who was the star of the show, in my opinion, for the first half. That one slightly easier, I would say. The work was done for her by the tight defence, the tight angle that was given to the right winger. They seem to have put McDougall back out there, left-handed Canadian. Trying to work a little bit of magic, score their fourth goal of the game, wasn't quite happy at that time. The Eagles again pressing really high up with that 3-2-1 that they favour. Oh, was that straight in the face, a shot by Thompson. Straight in the face of the defender, and I can't quite see the number of that. It took like a jump, to be fair, and we're back playing another football malarkey where they go down for 20 minutes trying to roll around. No, we get up here at handball and we get on with the game. To be fair, if it hits you in the head, I wouldn't blame you for going down, don't get me wrong, but you get where I'm coming from. So if you're wondering, if you have just tuned in, you're wondering what the NorDan British Handball Super Cup is, I'll tell you in a minute, because we have got passive play. They try and force the ball to the line. And the number one for West London Eagles, and that upbeat is now in goal. I said it was upbeat a couple of times in the first half, but I was incorrect. I think it was Hadosi in goal for the first half. They moved the ball out. This is the first time we've seen much impact from the left wing. And there's a good bit of impact as well, because Christina Lippman gets the goal for West London Eagles. Yes, this is the NorDan British Handball Super Cup. It's the pinnacle of handball in the UK, the top two from England against the top two from Scotland in both the men's and the women's. So I said a bit about, I gave a bit of a prelude before the game, but I'll give you another one. It's West London Eagles and Olympia in the women's, representing the English side of the border. And then we've got Edinburgh and Newcastle representing the Scottish side of the border. As the ball gets moved out to the right wing, McDougall gets the shot away. Edinburgh have to be a little bit careful not to commit it. They go away with it. McDougall scores her fourth goal of the game. West London Eagles have come out swinging here. I certainly think they're going to have to be demanding more from themselves. Seems like they're responding. In the men's, it's exactly the same sort of format. We've got Olympia and North East Manchester Hawks from England, and we've got Livingston and EK82 Handball Club from the Scottish competition. Another long distance shot there by Thompson from Edinburgh. Trying to move it out to the right wing. Tight angle. And Upbeat makes the save. It's a goalkeeper's ball. If you're out there and you are new to handball, I gave a couple of times in the first half, I gave a bit of a breakdown of real basics of handball, how many players are, how long the games are, etc, etc. So I won't bore everyone who's tuned in for the first half with all that sort of thing again. But I will say, if you're wondering about some of the rules and some of the things that are happening, I will tell you about them. Oh, it's a great move though, you can't ignore. I may want to give you a lesson of handball, but you can't ignore the lesson that the rest of the Eagles start to put on now. Great goal there by Victoria Kovaczynska. But if the ball goes out of play behind the goalkeeper's net, so behind the baseline, it pretty much is always a goalkeeper's ball unless it touches a defender last. So, for instance, in that one, the ball just goes over with no impact from any of the defending players. That means it's the goalkeeper's ball. If it goes out and the goalkeeper saves it last, the goalkeeper touches it last, it's still a goalkeeper's ball. So, if effectively it works the same as anything like football or anything like that. But the only difference is that if the goalkeeper touches it last, the goalkeeper retains the ball. So lots of movement here, lots of ball speed. Again, the ball getting thrown flatter, harder, faster. just building momentum up. And even the Eagles are starting to see that even when the shot's not on, they can recycle the ball, they can start again. Passive play being called, 4 passes to passive play. I will very quickly explain passive play. Effectively, if you get called it, the referee puts their hand up, it means you haven't been attacking the goal as efficiently, as effectively as you should have done from the referee's point of view. It's similar to a shot clock, apart from the fact there is no clock. You get 4 passes. Once the hand goes up, you get 4 passes, and you have to either take a shot or you lose the ball in those 4 passes effectively. It's a way of stopping time wasting. It's a way of making the players keep attacking the goal and keeping the game exciting as well. So you'll probably see passive play enacted. Oh, that looked like a bit of a nasty fall there. Oh, and a 2-minute suspension is just given. Yeah, for a high tackle, the number 6 then. For West London Eagles, the first 2-minute suspension we've had so far today, Christina Littman. And effectively that means that West London Eagles are a player down now for the next 2 minutes, and once that 2 minutes is up, Littman can come back onto the court, or obviously the coach can substitute her for someone else. If it was a red card, which hopefully we won't see any of them today, the team, say West London Eagles, would be down a player for 2 minutes, and then they could bring on another player, but Littman would have to be sent to the stands, basically. Wouldn't be allowed to come. That's not the case for the time being, as the Eagles throw the ball. So, and probably not the most advised thing, because when you actually have a player down, you really want to keep hold of the ball, because Edinburgh, as they were showing the example, have a massive advantage. The ball bounces off the crossbar, off the line, off the crossbar, and then just over the line, the referee gives it, and Edinburgh back into the lead. Actually catch who that was, unfortunately. Was it Maria Diaz? Number 20. We did get a close-up shot of that. From my little notes, I'm going to give it to Diaz for the time being. So unfortunately, I was looking at my notes at the time. The goal was scored. Out to the left wing again, and another save by Big Lars. She has been absolutely crucial for this Edinburgh game at the moment, because they do make a lot of unforced errors like that, it seems. Throwing the ball away, I mean, for 10 minutes before a half-time interval, Edinburgh probably threw the ball away more than they actually had a shot or any sort of clean passage of play. The West London Eagles converted it and turned it over at least. It was actually putting the ball in the goal that the West London Eagles actually struggled with, and that was thanks to Beglars. Move it out to McDougall on the right wing, and it saves like that proves why she's so important. And actually, it was some brilliant scenes as well the cameras caught as she came off the court. Edinburgh literally almost had her in tears with the amount of appreciation that she was getting. Out to the right, that's Mata, who had a little bit of a good spell in the first half. Bit of a funky shot there, though. Naomi Bell gets herself into the line. Emma Jane Tommen at left back, it seems. Victoria Pavashinska at right back, and there's been a change for the middle as well, actually. We've got Winghang Hoi in the centre now, whereas we had Hoi Kung Lung in the centre in the first half. So West London Eagles have changed things around just a bit. Tommen moving the ball. Pavashinska out to the right back, out to the right wing, nothing happening, but there is space in the line, and Edinburgh just forgot to turn around and have a look who else was there. Victoria was there, that's for sure. Pavashinska gets a goal. And I think it may well be Pavashinska's first goal of the game. I can't actually believe that. I seem to remember her scoring before, but I haven't marked it down. She definitely had a penalty saved, and then the rebound came to her, and I think there was another save. But normally we're so seeing her so effective now. Ooh, there was a little bit of a push through there, a bit of defending in the area. Referee's deciding it's best just to get the ball back to Edinburgh as they try an underarm pass. Always going to be a bit of a struggle, to be honest, to get that one away. Again, just a lots of concentration there by Edinburgh. Lots of space out here on the right back. Doesn't look like, I think the right wing had gone into a second line, which meant the wing defender from West London Eagles could come across, start defending the right back from Edinburgh. Trying a bit of a spin again. They've made the court very narrow, but there we go. We're using the width that was vacated by the winger going into second line. couldn't convert. Long pass over the top. Good defence there by Mata. Nice little communication there by number 6, Littman, who's come back onto the court, of course. They're back up to their full complement.
Off the ball, off the ball, off the ball!
Edinburgh trying press the issue here, try and force Eagles into a mistake. They get out to McDougall, who doesn't take the shot this time. Looks for the pass over to the left back. Tommen, oh, good reading there by Mata, forcing him out wide. Tommen couldn't get the ball away.
Keep driving!
Here she goes again, trying to drive to the centre of the court. Bit of a sloppy pass out there. The 20 of Edinburgh trying to push up, make the pass even harder. Looks like to be defending in the area. No shot, no turn there from Naomi Bell. If she just got half a shot away, it would have been a penalty. And block from the Edinburgh team comes out to Littman. Can't get the ball. Turn it over. I'm not sure why. Maybe passing. I'm not sure, to be honest. All I do know is Edinburgh have the ball back, and it is 10-all. Edinburgh haven't actually lost the lead. Well, they haven't been behind, I should say. Actually, they have lost the lead a couple of times. I think they've been drawing 3 times so far, but every single time West London Eagles have actually managed to get the points back. Edinburgh have gone up the other end and just got another 2 or 3 goal lead. Is that going to be the same case this time, or the Eagles actually going to start getting the momentum? Oh, good defending, I would say there. Yeah, and it is good defending by Tommen, reading the pass. Second line, maybe there was a bit of communication that we couldn't quite hear or see. Either way, Eagles are back, going up the other end of the court. Nice fake there. McDougall gets the ball. Nice catch. Good save. How many times I'm going to be saying that in the rest of this game for the next 20 minutes, but it was a good, damn good save by Beglas. You start to see the crowd starting to build as well, and that'll be for the next game, which is of course Olympia versus Newcastle Vikings in the women's category yet again. Both women's games coming up first, and then both men's games coming in the afternoon. Good interception there, and all the way at the corner. She fumbled it. No, she's managed to get it back under control. And the number 3 from Eagles, Wing Hang Hoi, getting the goal. And that's the first time, and it could be significant, that West London Eagles are actually leading in this game. 11 and a half minutes gone. 19 odd minutes to go. And we have seen a vast improvement from the Eagles, not necessarily in defence, but they haven't needed to in defence. Their defence in the first half was very good. More in the ball speed, the conviction, their desire to win this game in essence. They just seemed that they went very, very flat in the first half. Nothing was going in for them. They let it get into their heads as Mata gets a bit stuck. Edinburgh try and move the ball out to the wings, but it's just not happening for them. So, Eagles, who now can control this game and probably feel like they've got, well, generally a bit of control back. They can start playing some plays with some confidence, and the ball gets moved out there, and Tommen, young left back, gets the goal. I believe Tommen has representation. Yeah, there we go, the under-9 GB national team. Both Naomi Bell and Maddie Edwards have representation caps from the GB national senior team, as Victoria Kovaniska gets up the other end, gets the goal, and I think will get her opposition 2-minute suspension as well. I just saw the referee going to make that sign, and it does look like, yeah, the number 11 with the 2-minute suspension. That's the Elisa Moreno. I think a timeout has been called as well.
11.
So Elisa Moreno trying their best to get back, trying their best to stop the play. And to be fair, showed some good speed to even get in with a shout, but ultimately was never in between the ball and the goal. You make contact on a fast break, it's always going to be a 2-minute suspension. Top scorer for Edinburgh so far has been Louise Cox-Thompson, and found quite a lot of joy with the bounce shots into the roof of the net and into the corner. Top scorer for West London Eagles so far is Windale McDougall on the right 2-minute suspension wasn't given, actually. Number 11 is back on court. I could have sworn that the referee looked like they were... In fact, no, she's running off now. Is she being replaced by another player? Is she just getting tack on the ball? Leave me in the lurch. Very much confusing me. Yeah, no, 2-minute suspension held up there by the referee. So Edinburgh are a player down. I'm not going mad. Clearly, Elisa Moreno just trying to maybe sneak their way back onto the clock. Maybe they won't notice. You never know. Delegates here don't miss anything. Massive bounce shot from the 25. Vipasek, Lisha and Vipasek. From a long way out, that was a good 10 metres or so. As I said before, when West London Eagles actually went down to play in the first half, you really don't want to be throwing the ball away in that sort of situation. Because if you have the ball and you're a player down, that means the opposition can't take any kind of advantage from you. Oh, as they get the ball to Naomi Bell, I was about to say they're about to take advantage of that space on the left-hand side for the lack of players, but actually the ball to Naomi Bell, who, don't get me wrong, that's not a bad option to have. If you can get her the ball, you want to give her the ball. She is a safe pair of hands by the looks of it. Now Edinburgh have to try and figure out a way. Quite a lot of teams actually started bringing the goalkeeper out to try and attack with a full complement of players. That is a rule that you can do in handball. Once, if we actually see it, it'll be easy to explain it. But with Eagles 4 goals up, Edinburgh now find themselves in a position they haven't before. And Lippman going through the fast break. It's now a 5-goal game. Matt Oyen will be where this has gone wrong slightly. I mean, a 3-goal game in handball is nothing. A 5-goal is starting to get a bit of a headache for the Edinburgh team. Oh, as I think she could have picked that up, to be fair, but played the safe option. Matu, who's gone, oh, that was very close to being good. Matu, who's gone to that sort of right-back position. Stephanie Felser has gone over to the right wing, and Matu this time travels and yet again gives the ball away cheaply. This is a 2-minute suspension period for Moreno. I would argue Edinburgh have given the ball away 4 times. At the moment, I think conceding 3, could well be 4 before she gets back on. No, she is already back on now, Lisa Moreno. You can see it in the left-back sort of defence, left-half defence, just on Naomi Bell, just pushing up a little bit here, trying to force the issue.
Pace, pace, pace!
Mata again forcing the issue. Mata's doing a lot of work, defending all the way out. There's a good shot from McDougall. I tell you what, we expected a double on the left wing to score a goal, and by the looks of that smile, I don't think she did either. If you have a left-hander, you don't want to be wasting them on the left wing. But of course, that initial trigger movement that they made using the wings to cross over, and then that initiates the crossing and a bit of disruption from the defenders as well. Ended up McDougall on that left wing. Tell you what, it's a full advantage of her. I suppose if a right-hander can shoot from right wing, no reason why she can't shoot from the left. Lippman pushes the ball over. Here is McDougall yet again, and it's 1 more goal to her name. I believe, by my calculations, that puts on 6 for the game. Double that of the next top scorer, which is Louise Cox-Thompson. And it's a 17-10 game. I said that West London Eagles would be disappointed by the first half. If you didn't believe me, look at their second half. They've been so much better. And their aggressive defence, the 3-2-1 that Paul Dempsey prides himself in, seems to be working wonders. However, the finishing that time by Pavlichenska, not necessarily doing the business. But in defence, at least, Victoria has been dominant, intercepting the ball and crushing that middle of the park as well. As soon as there seems to be a threat, she's right in there helping out her central defenders. Edinburgh trying to take advantage of the space in behind with that 3-2-1 defence. I think they get a penalty for it. Stephanie Fesler getting fouled on the line, and up steps Louise Cox-Thompson to try and make it her 4th of the game. Annette Upbeat in goal. It's a long wait until the referee blows his whistle. No fake this time. Thompson gets the goal. And that's the first twice in the second half. 17, nearly 18 minutes of handball played. And Edinburgh have only got 2 goals to show for it. That's how dominant the Eagles have been in defence.
Off the ball, Vic. Now drive off the ball. Simple.
Lippman gets out to the left wing. No goal just yet. There is confirmation of the score being changed up on your screen. 17-11 to the Eagles. Keep in mind that it was 9-6 at half time, so Eagles have scored 11 in 18 minutes. Edinburgh only 2. Oh, good step there though, with a good save equally by Annette Utby. It was a good step by Elisa Moreno. Had the centre of defence of Eagles worried. That's when you need your goalkeeper, and Utby stepped up.
On this side, go on one this side. Between one and two.
Put in there, a play on words, but I decided not to. Littman out to the left wing. Tommen trying to force that shot from the right half. Oh, it's going to be difficult, that one. Once he committed, didn't really have anywhere else to go. There goes Edinburgh. They try and get the ball to the line instead of defending in the area. No, standard foul. Anybody out there wondering how the defence works in handball? I liken it to rugby league, where you want to make the tackle, but a lot of the time, the attacking team will actually keep the ball. But the important thing is they haven't scored, and we might see an example of that coming up soon if Edinburgh actually get into a shooting opportunity. Oh, there's a good shooting opportunity, and the seas opened up for her, but she couldn't actually secure it. Not too sure what the number was on the player. I'll try and get them as they run back and sort of recognise them in defence. But yeah, effectively, a lot of the time you end up, as an attacking team, you may well get fouled. You end up keeping the ball. It was the number 32, Elizabeth Musa, making the tackle there, actually. But the ball gets turned over. There is space on the left wing. The ball is thrown away, and Tommen with a good recovery run uses Utby for the assist as well. Another example of how Eagles seem to just have everything going their way at the moment with the intensity. It's not luck at all, it's the intensity and the momentum that they're playing with. Edinburgh have gone from effectively a 5-1 player marking system, I'd call it a 5-0-1 really, almost a 4-2 on McDougall as well. And McDougall being on the right wing means that you don't actually really see it, but they are marking her really closely. And Victoria as well from the right back position. There is McDougall with a nice step inside, trying to get the ball to the line. And it's a good save, and it's going to be a penalty. The number 20 for Edinburgh, Maria Diaz, pulling down the number 8, Victoria Pavashinska. And it looks like the number 3, Wing Hang Hui, is going to step up to take this one. Jill, as she's known day by day, apparently. And she gets it into the bottom right-hand corner. First goal for her, as far as I can see. It's a bit too much of a mountain to climb now with 8.5 minutes to go. 7-goal the gap. West London Eagles don't look like the momentum's shifting at any time soon. They don't look like giving away this lead, they only look like extending it. Good little play there from Edinburgh. Eagles read it, but a good step by Lisa. Goalkeeper's ball though. Good step, trying to take them by surprise. But Eagles get the ball back. And look at that, there we go. Example of Mata stepping all the way. I mean, she's playing right wing. I mean, has to go man mark, or player mark, I should say, actually. The right winger for Eagles. I don't know how she's still playing without needing a break. An amazing amount of fitness. Goes out, leaves Victoria, who's gone second line since being marked out of the game. I suppose if you're not going to get, if you're not going to have an influence out in the middle of the court and you're being marked out, you might as well go and try and make a nuisance of yourself in the pivot player position. Try and force the defence back a bit and let the rest of your team have a bit of fun for a change. So Pavashinska, even though she's not necessarily scoring all the goals, is still causing a headache for Edinburgh. To be honest, I think has just had a headache all the way through the second half. Here's Paul Dempsey, getting quite animated, even though the team is playing well. I might actually go and ask him after the game what on earth was said at half-time, because clearly whatever it was has had a massive impact. But to be fair, knowing the West London Eagles player, although I don't know them all personally, knowing how they play and the standards that they hold themselves to, I think they wouldn't need much telling at half-time. We will actually have a chat to the coach. I'm not going to have a chat to him, but we've got Pete here with us, who is going to be out and about having a chat to both coaches, Mads Boyd and Paul Dempsey, after this one, and what will be known as the typical sporting cliche, a game of two halves. Edinburgh playing well in the first half, not necessarily vintage, but enough to go in with a 3-goal deficit. Eagles underperforming, but coming out here in the second half and showing why they win trophies on a regular basis. So what will Paul Dempsey cooked up in the locker this time? Bit of movement there, Pavashinska goes through, it's going to be a penalty, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be a suspension here, 2 minutes for someone touching the arm. No, maybe not. Penalty goes away, West London Eagles, and Hoy steps back up. What's she got on the locker? One fake. Sits on the bottom left again. Beglars hasn't been able to get make quite the impact she made in the first half. The goalkeeper for Edinburgh. But without her, it certainly would have been a bigger scoreline. So as Edinburgh start to try and claw a few points gap, that's going to be a penalty. As Elisa Moreno, who seems to have taken it upon herself to be a bit more dynamic, give the Edinburgh team a little bit of speed, wins the penalty. And the ball goes in, off the post. Louise Cox-Thompson, captain for Edinburgh. Penalty taker extraordinaire apparently as well. 12-19. 6 minutes to go roughly. There is no added time or extra time in handball, if you're wondering if it's anything like football. Well, there is extra time if we need it. If the game is drawing, we need a winner, there will be extra time, but there is no added time for injuries or stoppages in play. Great goal there, a whip from the right hand of Hoy. He's certainly making an impact since coming on at centre. Two penalties and a great centre goal, as I think that was an attempted lob. I'm not entirely sure what that really was from Thompson on the left wing. Again, Upby though, since coming into the second half, has been strong. Made some important saves, especially when the Eagles were asserting their dominance early on in the game. It looks like the number 19 has come on for Eagles. Katrina Brazilin Bento from a left-back position. Maybe trying to get some of their other players some game time. Moving out to the left wing, and that was Pavashinska shooting with the left hand. Now, I assure you, she's definitely right-handed. So that, oh my days, has that got in? No, it hasn't. The camera almost didn't keep up. We were so surprised by that one. But as I said, I'm pretty sure Victoria is right-handed. In fact, I'm 95% sure. The only reason why I'm only 5% doubting it is because she just took that shot with the left hand, and it wasn't all that bad. As the ball gets moved to the number 7, Maria Seri. Had lots of space, had lots of time. Bit of a tame shot in the end, though, by the looks of it. Here goes Mata, looking for the step through the centre. Good covering defence there by Eagles, having each other's back. Exactly what you need. Elisa Moreno trying to get the ball to the line player, and it does get there. I think it's Louise Cox-Thompson. That left wing going into that second line position. Working well. It was a bit of an odd pass, I'll be honest, by Elisa Moreno, but it doesn't matter if it's odd as long as it gets to the player, I suppose. Here comes number 10, Anna Meyer, back on at left wing. Lots of space for her as well. If they can get the ball that way. It's a bit stunted, tries to force it to the centre. Eagles get the ball back, wouldn't be surprised if passive play is called, having seen that they've got all the way back there, but actually they don't need passive play. Elisa Moreno gives a whip, and then unfortunately the left back falls over. Here goes Eagles, seeing the space, seeing the opportunity, and again Moreno, a bit of diamond in the rough for this Edinburgh team at the moment, and actually, well, she's not happy. I think the timeout's been called by Edinburgh, her coach. She's not happy because she was through and away. Yeah, definitely. No, it's not a timeout, is it? I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you're I am, and I think Moreno is. Here is a replay, anyway, of how she got the ball back. There's no travel. There's no reason to stop the play. I'll be honest. Yeah, that's a bit of a confusing one. But we are back underway. Edinburgh get the ball and they get the goal. So I don't think they'll be too angry about it. That's Nuria Velesios. Or Velesios.
Anna, stay wide.
Here comes Eagles with a tame shot yet again by Maria Seri. Getting lots of opportunities. And now I think it is a timeout called by the Eagles coach, Paul Dempsey. So, not much that Edinburgh really can do about this, I would say now.
Very close.
Looks like they will be playing in the game that will kick off, or throw off, I should say, at 10 AM tomorrow morning. They'll be playing either Olympia or Newcastle Vikings. That game goes off at 12 o'clock today. The other semi-final for the women's. About 45 minutes time, actually. So stick around to see how they go. We're going to be live all day, no breaks. I'm not going to be talking all day, you'll be glad to hear, I'm sure. But we will be live, there won't be multiple streams, there won't be different videos you have to go back and watch or anything like that. We'll be live from, we went live 10 to 10 or whatever it was this morning, all the way until about 6 PM, maybe just before, maybe 5:30. And we'll get the reaction from the coaches as well straight after this game. So if you're interested to know what Mads Auen and Paul Dempsey have to say about the way the games have gone, stick around. We're having an interview, and then tomorrow we'll be chatting to the captains as well from each team. Bit of a barge there. I thought maybe a charging foul, but actually they've given the penalty. Number 20 for Edinburgh winning that one, Maria Diaz. No suspension given though, is Thompson, who I think was on the bench at that point. Runs back on. Takes the penalty, puts it in the other bottom corner. No mind games from Thompson, just step up, score the goal. No messing about. 15-20. And look at how aggressive they're having to go now. Edinburgh trying to get the ball back as quickly as possible. Looks like they've worked that one as well. They try to get at the other end of the court. It's the number 14, Vasilios. Doesn't score though. Valencia, I'm going to pronounce this about 15,000 different ways, my apologies. But Nuria, the number 14, couldn't get the goal after getting the ball back herself. Here goes Eagles. There's loads of space if they could exploit it. With 2.5 minutes to go, 19, rolls her player and then dispatches it into the top right-hand corner. Katerina Razalin Bento for her first goal of the game. Haven't seen that much of her. As I said, maybe Dempsey trying to give their team as much of a run out, their whole squad as much of a run out as possible, because you never know if they're needed tomorrow. Comes off the post, and there's a bit of a battle between Mata and Hoy. Oh, they get up the other end, and it's another goal, number 10, Anna Meyer, and you just get the impression that as Edinburgh have tried to force the issue, they're going to make this scoreline actually a little bit bigger. Went from a 5-goal lead to a 7-goal lead within the space of about 45 seconds there. Mata trying to roll her defender, trying to make something happen as an individual. There's Moreno, again trying to do a similar thing. Seeing a corner, I think that's the first corner we've had today. Came off a defender and went behind the goal line. It's the only way it can be a corner. I'm guessing the corner not taken quite properly because the goalkeeper gets the ball back. And West London Eagles break up the court again. Pass to get to the line, a bit forced that one. Referee saying nothing happening with 45 seconds left. Edinburgh will try and score one more goal and keep hold of it so they don't concede another one. Or will they? As they run straight up into the defenders. There's space out on the right wing. But good recovery defence there by the number 10. And the Mayor, of course. Good defence in the middle. Very aggressive by Hoyt. Forcing the ball with about 15 seconds left. West London Eagles try and break. It's a very long pass. They keep it in play. Oh, good save there by Veglars. To be fair, I don't think anybody would question if she's the player of the match, especially in the first half. Anyway, great step by Moreno. She's threatened that all game, all the second half, and finally gets the goal to show for it. I think there's only a matter of seconds, 5 seconds left on the clock. Victoria tries to look for the line pass, and it is a trip to the final tomorrow for West London Eagles, who I have to say have looked happier. There we go, we're starting to see a few more smiling faces. West London Eagles, they'll be throwing off tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon for the final against the winners of either Olympia or Newcastle. Unfortunately for Edinburgh, they will be going off at 10 o'clock, trying to get 3rd place secured at least, and then set against the loser of Olympia versus Newcastle, which is coming up in about 40 minutes' time. Final score, the West London Eagles 22, Edinburgh 16. A good first half show from Edinburgh, wasn't enough to keep out the Eagles as soon as they got some momentum going. Here are some of the highlights. Littman on the left wing, McDougall from the right wing, and even some McDougall from the left wing, actually, to be fair to her as well. I'd say from my personal perspective, I know it's easy to give the player of the match to the top scorer. We do have player of the match here. It'll be nominated from the opposing team. So let's say Paul Dempsey from West London Eagles will nominate a player of the match from the Edinburgh team, and Mads Oyen will nominate a player of the match from West London Eagles team. And I believe both of those players will get a prize from NorDan. I'm personally very impressed with the defence from the player. Team Pavashinska on the replays there. And McDougall's goal, when West London Eagles needed it most, seemed to be getting a little bit of momentum. She was there to serve. Especially in that first half, I think she got the first 2 or 3 goals. And there is McDougall's goal from the left wing, actually. Without her in the first half, the gap would have been a lot further. But a good goal, good game, all in all. Celebrations, I'm sure, will be going on in the background. And I'm just waiting to see if we get a nod that we're going to go and have a chat to our coaches of the game. I think there are photos being taken and everything at the moment. Coming up next, as I said, is Olympia versus Newcastle Vikings. And then in the afternoon, the 2 o'clock throw-off, we get the men's underway. Livingston versus Olympia. And then the final game of the day at 4 o'clock will be the North East Manchester Hawks versus EK82. I'm looking forward to that. Haven't come across the Scottish teams that often in the time commentating or covering handball, or even played it, to be honest. I was shocked yesterday when I was speaking to some of the Scottish handball representation that I hadn't actually played that much of it, even though being involved in handball in 10 years is amazing. How little we used to travel up here. A bit of a shame, really, because they got a great setup up in Scotland, and well, today is just a show of how well they can put on the show. And those of us who seem in our own little bubble down south, maybe not necessarily seen that as often as we should. But that is the end of the first game. There are 3 more to come, of course, and we'll be chatting a little bit to our coaches from that first game in a little bit of a while. But in 40 minutes' time, join us back at least for the next game, Olympia versus Newcastle Vikings.
About the performance that's just happened today.
Yeah, I must say I feel blessed about this whole event. I mean, we are playing really well, especially in the first half. And I mean, I've not always been sure about what our full potential as a team is. But today I think we are getting some answers that we can do way better than we maybe thought we could. So this has been great.
Yeah, you say it's an absolutely fantastic event to be a part of. The crowd is really buzzing. There's a great excitement around here. Have the team been really excited to be back at the Super Cup this year?
Yeah, I'm sure so. I haven't asked them myself. But I mean, this is like the only time a year where we're getting a lot of like professionalizing around the whole circumstances of the event. So just look at, we're playing on a professional court, got all the stands out, we got fans. That's not always the case in the normal league.
No, it's absolutely amazing to see. This team that you played today, it's not a team that's in your domestic league. You don't get to play them often. How did the game turn out compared to what you were expecting?
I think that it did go almost as planned. I mean, every single game lives its own life, so you can't, it's limited how much preparation you can do. But we had done some video analysis before, so we knew what they were doing. And you can see in the first half, we stopped them every single time. They scored 6 goals in the first half, so we are very happy with our defense.
Yeah, no, congratulations. The first half was absolutely amazing. The second half was a bit more challenging. What do you think was resulted in that outcome in the second half going into it?
Yeah, so this is a common challenge for very many teams, because in the first half, West London Eagles stay quite low, and in the second half they go higher and pressure us, and that forces a lot of mistakes and fouls for us. So yeah, it kills our tempo, so it's a very good strategy to use. And you see that it really changed the outcome of this game.
Well, you've got bronze medal match tomorrow. How are you feeling ahead of that game, and what's going to be the preparation tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to continue doing as we like. I mean, we're not here to play tag and the floor is lava, so we're just going to keep working and prepare ourselves for tomorrow.
Amazing. Good luck for it. Thanks for joining us. Okay, Paul, thank you so much for joining us. How are you feeling about the team's performance out there?
Yeah, we was somewhat disappointed, especially in the first half. I thought we were very slow. Our activation wasn't very efficient whatsoever. I felt that we were very rusty and it wasn't how we normally play. But nevertheless, the second half started to develop and we improved considerably from that half through some changes in personnel and obviously the team's attitude. So it's positive in that respect.
Yeah, you started off the second half with an 11-1 run. What was the conversation like at halftime to make that change?
Apart from making some various changes to the way in which we were playing, I think that it was more a fact that, you know, we put the question to the team, the girls, and they had to make the choices whether or not they wanted to play in the final tomorrow, if they wanted to go home with unhappy faces. So, you know, obviously the ball is in their court and they chose the right side of the coin to actually proceed through to the finals, which is satisfying.
Yeah, so that second half performance running into the finals, is it giving you a lot of confidence going tomorrow, try and get that win?
Yeah, I think it's given the girls considerable confidence. I believe that, you know, the young players that we've drafted into the team as well did very well. So that obviously gives them some more experience and obviously more court time. So I think that gives them more confidence to gel with the team as well.
It must be an absolutely fantastic experience being in this hall, in this massive venue, with the crowds around for the young players to develop. Is it a great place to be for them?
The competition that's been put on here by Scottish Handball is excellent. It was like we were here last year as well, and it's very well organised, very accommodating in every way, and the court for a lot of players, it's the first time they've had the opportunity to play on this type of court. For a few of our older players that played at a high level, obviously they've performed on this sort of thing, but all in all it's a fantastic experience and a great end to the season for the teams and for those that may not have actually had this opportunity before.
Well, congrats again on the game today and good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Thanks.